Hi, my name is Todd Berzer at Kevolve Product Management. This is Product Management 101 and our lecture on the strategic role of product management. If you think about all of the products and services in your life, the financial services, your iPad, your smartphone, the software that you use, the insurance that protects you, if you think about all of these products and services, behind great products and services are great product managers. Because this, at the end of the day, is what we do. We manage the full life cycle of products and services to create exceptional customer value, to generate long-term competitive advantage, and deliver year after year profitability. In this lecture, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the work of product management. We're going to take a look at our course goals, and then we'll go to the structure of this course. So the work of product management we're going to look at the work of product management across 4 different areas. So the first area is market intelligence. So key critical foundational point for product management is market intelligence. So market analysis, market segmentation, customer analysis, understanding your customer needs, and competitive analysis. So truly understanding what your competition is doing and where they are headed. That's market intelligence. Then we move to a second foundational piece, and that is strategy. So strategy development for your product group or service group. The third area of the work of product management is new product development. So road mapping is the first, so deciding where you're going to take your product or service over time. What is the evolution of that? New product development, the actual development of a new product or service, and then launch of that product out into the market. And then the fourth critical area as part of our work as product managers is this whole area of lifecycle management. So after you've introduced a product to the market, you need to find growth for that product, you need to price it, you need to find sales, you need to work through sales channels, sales support, product support, forecasting, and then at some point, obsolescence. So this is the span of work for product management: market intelligence, strategy, new product development, and lifecycle management. But we don't do this stuff alone. We work in teams, we work with our broader teams, we work with market intelligence. You may have a market research team that you work with. With strategy, there may be a corporate strategy group that you can work with. There may be a business unit strategy group or strategy person that you can work with. With new product development, we work with our R&D teams, our research and development teams, our technical teams, the groups that are helping us design and develop these products and services. And then with lifecycle management, typically you're working with your worldwide market development teams, you're working with your regional market development teams, out with sales and sales channels. So you're looking outward on that one. So we work with a broad set of people to do this work, but let's think about where, as product managers, we come from. So when we look at surveys of product managers, and of course you would know product managers, and all of the product managers I know, there is a huge variety of people coming into product management. We have people from engineering, research and development, moving into product management. Maybe the product manager, you have been in software development before you came into product management. Maybe you've been in manufacturing. You might have been in a sales group. Maybe you were in some kind of market development group, either worldwide or regional. You might have been in a product support group. You may be just directly out of school. You may have just gotten your MBA. So we come from a lot of backgrounds, moving into product management, and then we step into these jobs, and product management spans the full work: market intelligence, strategy, new product development, and lifecycle management. And very few people have the skills to manage all of that at the beginning. So if you're stepping in from these different backgrounds, you may know some of this, you may not know all of these areas. So what happens is, if you're new to product management, or if you're in a group that maybe is not as structured as it should be, or you don't have the product management expertise in your broader team, then what happens is you end up responding to requests that come to you. And this is what we find in surveys, and that is product managers will end up spending too much time on sales support. You're sitting down at your desk, you're new to your job, you're suddenly getting calls from your sales team. Maybe your European team has a big deal they want you to work through. You're spending your late nights doing that. You're spending a lot of time on sales support. You're spending a lot of time, maybe you have a quality issue, so you spend a lot of time on product support. So you end up responding to the requests that come to you, rather than taking a strategic directional approach to your job, and looking at the full spectrum of your work here. So what happens is new product managers often spend a lot of time on sales support, product support, but they miss all the other elements, all the other critical elements of product management. They're not spending nearly enough time on market intelligence. You're not analyzing your market, customer, competition. Product managers typically don't spend enough on time thinking about the strategy of their particular product group, and they don't spend enough when you think about new product development. Often product managers don't spend enough time thinking longer term direction. Where are you taking your product group over time? What's your roadmap? And then if you've got products in the markets, often these products, if they're not causing problems, if your sales teams are not yelling about them, or there's not quality problems, they often sit, and you don't do the active work of finding growth for these products, of finding out where you can generate new incremental revenue and profit. And then pricing is another one. It's a critical area, but often gets overlooked. It's a critical area for profitability, but often not enough time is spent on pricing analysis. So it's important as a product manager to do this full span of work and make sure that you're not just responding to the incoming request, but you're taking an active strategic approach to your job and looking at this full spectrum. So in this class, we're going to be looking at that full spectrum. We're going to be digging into each of those elements. We're going to be doing this in two different classes, Product Management 101 and Product Management 102. So Product Management 101, we're going to look at market intelligence, strategy, new product development, and then in Product Management 2, we're going to look at lifecycle management. So if we think about this, and this course is really meant to be for product managers that are new to product management, or maybe 0 to 5 years experience. And our course goals, by the end of this course, by the end of Product Management 101, product managers will have learned approaches for market, customer, competitor analysis, some industry best practices around all of that, strategy development, road mapping, so mapping the evolution of your product and service over time, and new product development and launch out to the market. That's Product Management 101. When we get to Product Management 102, we're going to talk through all the elements of lifecycle management, and we're going to wrap up that course in Product Management 101 and 102 by talking about becoming a successful product manager, pulling it all together. So the structure of this course, Product Management 101, we're going to start with this introductory lecture. We're going to move to market intelligence, so market, customer, competitive analysis, go to strategy after that, talk about strategy development, move to new product development, road mapping, new product, the actual development of your products and services, and launch. And then we're going to wrap up the course and transition off to Product Management 102. That's the structure of the course. A few more course notes. We've got some additional resources at the end of each lecture. You can, as in kind of an introductory course like this, we can't deal in depth with every topic that we're covering. We're going to cover the top level. We're going to talk about best practices, but you really kind of want to dig in, and we're going to give you some additional reading to do that with. There'll be some quizzes at the end. You can check just for fun. You can check to see if you're following along in what you're learning, and I'm going to try to do some live sessions as well. At Kevolve Product Management, we are big proponents of this idea of a flipped classroom. So you think about a traditional classroom versus a flipped classroom. A flipped classroom, you do the lectures at home and you do the homework at school. So applying that thinking to this particular class, you can take these classes, you can take this online class, at your desk or at home, wherever. But I think to really learn this, to really learn product management, you need to apply these concepts to your specific work area, to your business area, together with your team. So especially if you've got a team of more experienced product managers, if you've got mentors around, work together with that team to kind of bring these concepts to life. If you're launching a product, if you're developing a new product, if you're finding growth for your product out in the market, use these concepts and then work with your team to actually apply them. And I think that's the best way to not only learn product management, but to make progress with your business and your product or service. That's the idea of a flipped classroom. One of the things, but I gotta stress, this is not simple. Applying these concepts to your specific business situation can often be very tough. We can help at Kevolve Product Management. We do training, we do customized training, we do face-to-face training. We do workshops so that we can, kind of action-oriented workshops that we can apply the key concepts out of these classes to your specific business area. We also do consulting, and we do coaching, so executive coaching for product managers and product management leaders. So that's Kevolve Product Management. You can contact me if you're interested. My email address is here. All right, so let's review the concepts. We talked about the work of product management, market intelligence, strategy, new product development, and lifecycle management. We talked about the course goals for this Product Management 101 and the structure of this course. So with that, our next lecture is on market analysis, and I will talk to you then.